We're at the top of the pyramid. Maybe only 10% of people or less will get here. Takes a sacrifice to get to the top of the mountain. A lot of people go to base camp at Everest. Not a lot of people get to the very top. There is sacrifice involved. There is momentum. There is hugely long-term thinking. There is passion. There is dedication. There is something so deep in you that you want to achieve this. So let's have a look at some of the things when you're in phase 4 of living completely financially free. And it is my hope that you get there, or at least start to work your way through the phases. I think one of the hallmarks of being financially free is you giving back. When I started the Glenn James spending plan, I used to charge, I think, $100 for it. And it was pretty good. Like, I reckon we made, at the peak, may have made $150 to $200 grand a year just from this online course that was $70 or $100. I don't even know what we charged. So it was a good chunk of money for doing nothing. I think I recorded it all and then put it up and we advertised it, and I really didn't do much admin on it at all. So that was the best type of passive income. But we got to the stage with my life and my career and the overall business where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give this out. I just want to help people. I've really thought about the whole thing of the more people you help, the better that you'll do. I'm not necessarily chasing the dollars anymore. I really care about doing good quality things with good quality people and looking after our listeners. And that's just kind of, I just want to give back. And I really think if you are at that top 10%, 5% of this 4-phase pyramid that we've kind of been talking about, that you're giving back in somehow, because you're now moved on beyond, I need to look after me. You're fine. Can you mentor people? Can you do the free online courses? Can you volunteer? I mean, you can do all this stuff as the phases go, but it's a lot easier for me to say, hey, everyone, free online course now, than when I was just starting where I'm like, oh, I really need that 100 grand. So you can give stuff away from day one, but it's easier and less stressful to be giving away and giving back in a wholesale type manner when you are kind of there yourself. And this is the thing, like you could say, oh, you're giving back. Well, I can do that in phase 1. Yeah, you can. And I want you to. But as you go up through the phases, I think you can really ratchet things up and get more intense. So the second thing with being totally financially free, one of the biggest hallmarks is you are truly, truly, truly living life on your terms. And it took me a few years to get there. I had to put the grind in and all that stuff. One of the definitions of success for my own life was not to have to set an alarm of a morning. And I don't, unless I literally have to get up and it's quite early and all that stuff. But most days, week on week, I don't. And I naturally wake up around 7 a.m. and it's not as if I'm sleeping until noon or anything like that. But I just really wanted to build my life on my own terms. And by doing all the things that I've discussed and continually working on all of them. So remember, I'm continually working on my mental and physical health, even though I'm at the top here at phase 4. So all this stuff, and this is kind of a concise thing. This is what I think about life if you really want to build life on your own terms. And remember, I'm not being some finance bro by saying you've just got to put 100% of your of your 5 days that you work a week, you got to put 1 day of your money into crypto and just go to town and all this BS rubbish. No, you've got to put the time in. You've got to do things in the right order. And there are no shortcuts. I've tried, doesn't work. You've got to do things the right way. So are you truly living life on your own terms? If you're not and you want to, you need to go back and listen to a lot of the stuff in phase 2 and 3, then you can, and this could take 5 years, guys. I'm really sorry. It could take 5 years for you to plan and build your life and make the changes so you can live life on your own terms. It might not. It could also take 6 months because you could be doing something now. You could be that person that we talked about in phase 1, high income, high expenses, high stress, all this crap where it's like, oh, hang on, we're living in a capital city. Let's move to a smaller town and I can work remote and let's keep the income high, just remove all the expenses and the pressure and do the tree change. You can do it within the year. But I think if you want to keep that status quo in your life and really just work towards this truly living life on your own terms, there are no shortcuts and it could take some time. And that's okay. As long as you're making changes each year and you have the right people in your life, you've got a plan and a vision and you're focused, I think that's really a sign of being financially free. The next sign and kind of the result of being financially free, and again, you can do this tomorrow if you want, but it will really start to happen as you work through all the stuff that we've talked about. You feel like you don't work. You feel like you live, and working is just part of what you do. Someone said to me the other day, oh, why are you checking emails on a Saturday? And they said, oh, that's right. I forgot every day is the same to you. So for me, every day is the same and it's all just meshed up because as well, that's part of my personality and vibe. You might be the type of person that needs a 9 to 5 and you can clock off and then it's personal time. The good thing about being financially free is to have the choice to live however you want. Right? And not everyone's going to get here. And if you're still listening to what I'm talking about, you are so dialed in and you're one of those people that have got the best shot of stopping trading your time for money, continuing to invest for the future, giving back, and really living life on your own terms. I tell everyone, I feel I retired from the workforce at age 25, and that was when I started my own business. Because from that day, sure, those 5 to 10 years, they were rough, they were tough, they were hard, it was a grind, but it was on my terms. And at age 25, I retired from the workforce and I haven't had a job since. Just having to help people every day when I feel like it and I love it. The final thing, and again, you can do this earlier, but I have not had this disease since 2010 when I started my business. Monday-itis is not a thing in your life. Mondays don't suck. Your life sucks. That's so harsh. It's so hard to hear. Monday doesn't know it's a Monday. It just so happens that you had 2 days off work and you're dreading going back to work. The Sunday scaries, all that stuff. It's just a sign and a symptom that you're not in the right place and space, and I need you to make a change so you don't feel like you are on this treadmill of life, you're not in control, you don't like what you do. You need to go back through all these steps that I've talked about. You start to write them down. We'll put a link in the show notes and I'll get a blog in there with all these steps, but you've really, really, really got to get to the point where you're not dreading going to work or not dreading waking up the next morning, not dreading Mondays, all that stuff. Because if you do all this stuff, you will be financially free. And a lot of it you can do from tomorrow at any income, but longer term, I need you to do all this stuff in the right order. Hey, I hope you've been encouraged today. It's just some of my thoughts about this whole being financially free, feeling financially free. And just remember, a lot of people won't get through phase 1. A lot of people will live their life middle Australia and they won't get through that first 1 or 2 phases of this. They'll sit there wanting, they'll sit there wishing. You've just got to start doing. Less sitting, thinking, talking, more doing. Just get out there. You'll be all a G in the H.